Afternoon folks, this is BestInSlot with some surprisingly out of nowhere Jurassic World Evolution news. Yes, Frontier pulled a fast one on us and decided to release Feature Focus 3 today, for some reason, rather than next Tuesday, which is what we assumed was going to happen. That may be because people discovered what looked to be part of today's update in the image with the gyrosphere gates, but who knows, either way it's definitely one to get excited about, so let's dig in. The first feature discussed, and probably the most exciting one, is the new wetland requirement. This is what it says on the Frontier forum post. All dinosaur species are different, and whilst their requirements are different so far, there's even more we can do to make them stand out further. With this update we'll be looking at focusing more on the queens of our ponds and rivers with new wetland requirement needs. We're adding this for Spinosaurids such as the Baryonyx and Spinosaurus. Alongside their existing needs, your Spinosaurids will have a wetland need that requires balancing when you build your enclosures to ensure their happiness. This change does affect dinosaurs in existing saves, so make sure you've got an adequate water supply in place or that you've got some very strong fencing holding them in until you do. So basically the 4 Spinosaurids currently in the game, i.e. Baryonyx, Spinosaurus, Suchomimus and yes, the Spinoraptor, that's been confirmed as well, will gain a new wetland requirement need. It does sound as though it's not going to replace any of the current ones, so it seems like you're going to have to balance both grassland, forest and the wetland need through the introduction of water. As you'll see in a moment, there is a little bit more to this mechanic as well, but I just want to say this is a very surprising addition, given it applies to only 4 dinosaurs so far. Now, could this also mean that there's more Spinosaurids on the way? The likes of Irritator or Ichthyovenator would be pretty popular additions to the roster, I would say, and it would seem a shame to have what is a pretty great new feature without many dinosaurs actually using it. Either way, this type of habitat adaptation is a huge step towards making evolution feel more like a typical zoo game really. More than just managing the terrain, however, you'll also be able to feed these Spinosaurids differently, as so. We all care about the dinosaurs in our parks, I think that's true for everyone, and they deserve a suitable diet. This is why with our summer update we're introducing new fish feeders for your wetland dinosaurs. As part of the wetland need, you can use fish feeders rather than the carnivore feeders for authentic management of your Spinosaurids. The fish feeder itself must be placed in water and can be found in the same build menu as the existing feeders. It also blocks an area around where it is placed to prevent any mishaps with the terrain tools. There's new eating animations too for when the dinosaurs eat from the fish feeder. We've also updated the expedition map with a 3rd fish icon just to make sure you know what you're getting into when you go digging. As you can see from the image on your screen right now, the fish feeder, like the gyrosphere gate a little earlier this week, has a pretty great, unique custom design. It retains that classic feeder shape of course, but it incorporates some sort of drop down netting at the side to contain our fish that look a little bit like bream. That's kind of where I'm going right now, but it could be anything, who knows. It places directly onto the water, the only item in the game to do that or to even be allowed to do that in the slightest, and will even bring brand new fishing animations. I am genuinely staggered that such a feature is being brought in and introduced despite the limited number of dinosaurs that are going to use it. There's only 4. But I'm also incredibly excited to see these new animations and build many more inevitable wetland style exhibits. I am a little curious as to how this is going to work. Will the Spinosaurids prefer to eat from the fish feeder over the other feeders? Will they now require the fish feeder? I suspect not. Or will it essentially act as a 3rd type of the carnivore feeders we already have? One thing I've always really wanted introduced into Jurassic World Evolution is a preferred food type, kind of like what JPOC had with the hunting. Including the normal goats and the normal feeders. So this could be an interesting step in that direction. T-Rex prefers to hunt. Troodon prefers to eat from the normal feeders. Spinosaurus prefers to eat from the fish feeder. Just stuff like that would make it a little bit more interesting in some ways. This could be a step in that direction. Plus, fish! Fish! It's very exciting. Moving off the wetland stuff, we're going to talk about a few dinosaur AI updates. Welcome ones at that, believe me. The first one concerns the Pachycephalosaurids. So it's important to us that dinosaurs react as realistically as possible, which means making sure they can defend themselves where possible. We're introducing improvements which will let Pachycephalosaurids defend themselves against small theropods such as Velociraptors. For a more complete list of what's affected, the newest contenders entering the Thunderdome of dinosaur combat are Pachycephalosaurus, Stygimoloch and Dracorex. They'll be squaring off against the Velociraptor, the Deinonychus and the Dilophosaurus, and will also throw fists, skulls, Chortle, against Troodons if you own the Secrets of Dr. Wu pack, and they'll also stand their ground against the Proceratosaurus and the Herrerasaurus if you're a proud owner of the Carnivore pack. If you own the Carnivore pack and you aren't proud of it, then I don't know what happens in that situation. All three of the new contenders have finishers to back up their fighting prowess, and we've improved the Pachycephalosaurid specific finishing animations for the small theropods they'll be scrapping against. So, the three Pachycephalosaurids in the game will now finally be able to defend themselves against those pesky small carnivores. It was always a little bit odd that these classically very tough dinosaurs, we've all seen the Pachycephalosaurus in the Lost World Jurassic Park where it 1v1s a jeep and wins, were relegated to fodder even against the smallest carnivores. But now we've got three new contenders for dinosaur battle royales. Stygimoloch is one of my favourite dinosaurs in this game with its hench little arms, and I really do want to see it take down a Velociraptor. Furthermore, this means yet more new animations, which is a nice surprise along with the Spinosaurids. We've seen some really great new animations for the Carnivore pack in particular lately, and to a lesser extent the Cretaceous pack and the Secrets of Dr. Wu, which had a couple of new animations, but not on all of the dinosaurs. These newer dinosaurs have been outshining the regular roster a little bit, so it's nice that 6 of the original dinosaurs in the game, 6 of the original dinosaurs in the game at least, are getting updated with something that makes them just a little bit more unique. It's going to bring a nice burst of diversity to our roster. Finally, we have some general dinosaur improvements as so. As part of our summer update, we are introducing a number of improvements to the dinosaurs of Jurassic World Evolution. Sauropods will no longer be panicked by large theropods, but instead remain calm against creatures that pose no threat. Dinosaurs can now be selected whilst they're in the forest. That's such a big change. So you no longer need to wait for them to show themselves if you want to check their details. We've also decreased the flee timers and threat radius values on our vehicles to reduce dinosaurs panicking as they drive by. Last but not least, we're making some changes to when dinosaurs go to sleep. Previously, dinosaurs would just sleep when they were comfortable, which, if you looked after them well, could be any time of day. With the summer update, they'll have a higher chance of sleeping during the night as well. First things first, this is a much needed change to the sauropods. Despite being invincible against every single dinosaur in the game other than the Indominus Rex, they would panic and run away from, Majungasaurus and Ceratosaurus. Dinosaurs that they could, if they were in a particularly bad mood, just kind of step on and crush, no problem whatsoever. It really didn't make much sense. The quote does say creatures that pose no threat, so I assume that the Indominus Rex will still spook our sauropods. But now it's going to be much easier to mix sauropods with the rest of your park, which is a big deal because sauropods are kind of a pain in the ass to contain. And dinosaurs sleep more at night. I don't really have anything to add on that, it's just another little feature being improved come the summer, basically. And the forest thing. The forest thing is a big deal. I always have this situation where I'm trying to name all my dinosaurs ready for the next video, and half of them will be hiding in the forest and you can't click on them and do anything. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. They had a reason as to why you couldn't follow your dinosaurs into the forest to do with the strain on the memory or something like that, so it's interesting to see that they've reverted on that a little bit. I am a little shocked, ladies and gentlemen, by how deep and frankly awesome this summer update is. It's absolutely free, and it's introducing, this is a quick overview, it's introducing new terrain painting tools, individually placed rocks and trees, as well as new tree varieties, new bushes, all of the bushes available on every island, gyrosphere gates, randomization for challenge mode, which is being overlooked a little bit, but is really a big deal. The new wetland mechanics, the new fish feeders, and some great dinosaur AI improvements, along with some improvements to the building mechanics in general, quality of life improvements, and of course, some bug fixes. People have been saying for months now that Frontier has abandoned the game, despite the evidence to the contrary. And whilst this won't be enough to bring everybody back, it should at the very least prove that Evolution is in very active development, and that Frontier were serious about its post-release support. There could yet be more hidden in the summer update, though it seems likely, I don't know why I had to say likely, it seems likely that this is most of what's on the way, considering just how the breadth of the information we've had here. But there is still potential, and I think even possibly likely that we'll get a story-based DLC pack at some point during the summer. It would be a little surprising if we didn't. Either way, I am hyped. This is the biggest change to Evolution since the game came out, in my opinion. And I'd love to know which of those features I just mentioned has you all the most excited. I really thought the terrain tools would stand out the most for me. I'm very excited about terrain tools, but the dig site randomization and these new wetland mechanics with the new feeders, that's big stuff, and they're fighting hard to take that #1 spot. Either way, thank you so much for joining me. Throw me a like if you found this video informative and if you're excited for the update as well, and I will see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always, bye bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.